Welcome to the recording of the webinar where we take you through the process on how to print the C19 TERS Report from Payroll Professional. These are unprecedented times which may lead to ever-changing information. The information presented today is up to date at the time of presenting. Please ensure that you are registered on Sage City to keep you up to date with any changes in product-specific information. Where relevant, references will be provided to other documents or websites. Various relief measures have been announced. Sage prides itself in delivering products that are legislative compliant and only assess the changes once published and then communicate how this will impact the payroll and if software updates are required. The explanations provided in our report are based on our current interpretation and the latest information received from the Department of Employment and Labour. This export report will give you flexibility with regards to the content that will be exported to your TERS file and will create the TERS file according to the sample provided by DOEL. It is your responsibility to confirm the correctness of the data to be submitted to the DOEL. Ensure all relevant documentation is completed as per the auto-reply email from UIF. You can use this file then to submit on the online portal available. As communicated in our Sage City post, where we initially released the C19 TERS report for Payroll Professional on the 13th of April, we made the files available for you to import into your payroll. If you previously imported this report, you don't have to do so again, as this update will automatically update the report. Log into any company from which you would like to run the report. Locate the TERS data report, which is reel number 770, and double-click on it to open. You will see that the report gives you the option to either run it for the current company, which will be the company that you are logged into, or to run the report for multiple companies. If you select to run the report for multiple companies, it will list all the companies that have the same UIF registration number. We do recommend that companies with different setups to be exported separately, even if they have the same UIF registration number. Companies must always still be in the same month end to ensure the correct values are included in the submission file. Once you have made your selections, click on Continue. In the selection Who must be paid, you have three options. You can either select that the money must be paid to the employee, to the employer, or to the council. You must complete the banking details of the company in the area provided. This will be used if the company must be paid or if there are employees that do not have banking details. If you have an agreement with the council that they must be paid, then enter the council's banking details. The sector minimum wage that must be captured is the monthly equivalent of your sector minimum wage. As per the auto-reply email from UIF, the minimum wage that will be used to determine the minimum payment to employees is R3,500. So whether you complete your sector minimum wage or R3,500, the UIF will only be working with R3,500. The pay-as-you-earn number that you need to select to export can either be employer or employee. If you select to export the employer's pay-as-you-earn number, that will be the reference number as completed on the basic company information screen. If you select employee, it will then export the employee's tax number as captured on the Employee Information Statutory Details tab. The shutdown from and to dates. This will be the first day of the company shutdown period, so from when to when the employee had to close or partially close operations. In most scenarios, it will be the 27th of March, but if the employer paid employees up until the 31st of March, then the date will be the 1st of April. The end date will be the last day of the shutdown period. In most scenarios, it will be the 30th of April, in line with the national lockdown period. Value to be submitted as UIF remuneration. There are three options available. You can either select UIF remuneration, select a specific earning line or multiple earning lines to be added together, or you can select the rate per day calculation. And this calculation is then the employee's rate per day on the increase screen, which will be multiplied by the average number of days, which is 21.667. We do recommend that you select UIF remuneration. The new field that we've made available in the report is called Refer to Month. The value to be exported in the file must be for the last fully remunerated payroll month before the lockdown. If you paid your employees in full for March, then you will select March. Otherwise, you will select February as your last fully paid payroll month. As an example, if you select UIF remuneration for March, the report will export the UIF remuneration values for the month of March in the report. In weekly and bi-weekly companies, the month-to-date values will export in the file. Your leave income during the shutdown period. This is the portion of the UIF remuneration paid in cash or granted as a benefit during the shutdown period, as an example, the salary wage or leave pay. This value will reduce the value of the benefit paid by the fund. If the employer will not be paying the employees during the shutdown period, this value must be 0. Click on Select Earning Lines to select the earning line or lines that is used for the payment during lockdown. In non-monthly companies, the month-to-date value of these fields will export to the file. If no payment will be made, then no selections are required in this section. The last version number. The file created contains a sequence number. As in our example, you can see that the file ends with a 02.csv and the unique sequence number is 02. You can increment this to ensure that you do not send a file with the same name. So when you send the file the first time, the unique sequence can be 1, and when you send it a second time, it can be 2. This will avoid that the first file is overwritten. We recommend that when you run it for the first time to keep the version number 0, so that when the CSV file created will save it as 1. When you run the report again, the version number will then show as 1, but the CSV file created will save as 2. The selections made during the creation of the report will be saved for future convenience. This means that if you run the report again, it will automatically default to the previous selections, and should require, you can only change where relevant. Once all your selections have been made, you can click on Continue. The following screen will be your employee selection screen. All employees in the company will be listed, and you can select the employees that is impacted and for whom you want to claim from the TERS relief scheme. Tick Select All at the bottom of the screen and then only deselect the employees not to be included. Alternatively, you can select employees individually. All employees indicated with a yes in the last column will be included in the TERS submission file. Once the employees have been selected, click on Continue. The file will generate and the following message will display. Click on Click here to download your file to your computer if the download did not start automatically. The submission file and Excel data extract will be zipped into a single file. Save it in a folder to unzip thereafter. Once the file has been unzipped, two files will be available: a TERS report and then your CSV file, which you can upload to the online portal.